Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Anime-Zing Radio. Tonight, clearly, we do not have a Doug because of working on the railroad. So I'm your host, Angela Rose, and I'm joined by our lovely co-host, Kaya Tianyu,
Hello.
and our lovely guest, Switchhax from the Anki Expo team.
Good evening.
And Darren apparently is dead, aka not joining us as of right now. So I suppose I'll start. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good.
Yeah, good. Got off work on concrete floors, so feet hurt, but that's normal. I just need to invest in better shoes. I'm going to be real.
Yep.
Yes. Nothing like a good pair of quality shoes. Been there. One convention, how I learned my sneakers were dead was the sneakers blistered my feet worse than than those wooden Japanese sandals.
Yikes.
But that was a very long time ago when I was in my middle 20s and didn't know any better.
No, that's very fair. We've evolved as people.
Yes, indeed. But how? And the irony, Doug invited you to join us tonight, knowing that he wouldn't actually be here. So So next week we're gonna remember to give Doug a hard time for this.
As you should.
As we should. But you specifically mentioned that much like myself, you are a person who enjoys a lot of role-playing games.
Yes, I was gonna say I've been doing tabletops for the past 12 years. God, I'm aging myself. Yeah, for like the past 12 years since like high school. And I very quickly became forever DM, and that hasn't changed.
See, I got lucky and I never became the forever DM. I just would DM at conventions, and in my role-playing groups, we have the forever DMs that cycle around.
I mean, positives. I do have my Pathfinder group is luckily the cycle group where it's just everyone gets their turn if they want to actually run something. Though that is the when we have time group, so that always falls to the wayside.
I have one of those. In theory, we meet once every 4 Sundays. That hasn't happened since, I think, June at best.
Yep.
No, August. Because I did do a session in August, and then life got in the way, and life will continue to get in the way. So when the regularly scheduled sessions have fallen in line with family outings and conventions where half the group is going to be at anyway, we just said, nope, we're not doing it again until January.
Yep. No, I completely understand that. It's become so generally loose that it's hey guys, I have a Saturday off. Are we available? I did what was it? I did yesterday, and then I did last week. Before then, I didn't play since May. Like, it really just depends.
Oh, I understand that entirely. So I'll suppose, since you brought up Pathfinder, I will ask, have you what role-playing systems have you played, and what are your favorites?
Okay, so I've played both editions of Pathfinder, first and second. I think both are good and have their own merits. If you like big number, play first edition. If you like something that's a little bit easier to understand and comprehend and things, play second edition. But it's not as scary as everyone makes it out to be, I promise. I'm a big fan of horror, so Call of Cthulhu is definitely something that I would highly recommend. I love D100 system because it just makes things really funky. Obviously, I've played 3.5, 5th edition. I'm gonna be real. I need to learn the updated rules to 5th edition because I asked my tables. I was just like, "Hey, do we want to learn 2025?" And they're like, "Not really." And I'm like, "Okay," and I just haven't learned it yet. So
there's I will say, having played both, there's only minor differences in what I've experienced. It's the wording on certain spells, wording on certain actions, but there's really not a whole heck of a lot of difference. And if you look at D&D Beyond, they actually put legacy versus standard,
Yeah.
aka original versus 2025.
Besides that, I haven't DM'd, but I've played Starfinder. Starfinder is a lot. It's very much Pathfinder First Edition, where it's a whole lot of numbers, except you replace your magic abilities and things with items. There are so many items in that game that can do so many things.
Okay. I have a feeling I'm in the minority on this one.
Yep.
I tried playing Starfinder twice with two different groups, no overlap in players. Like, none of the players in either group had even interacted with anyone in the other group. And both times I had the same problem and ended up, after the second instance, determined I can't stand the system, which disappointed me because I really wanted to enjoy outer space.
Yeah.
But it was definitely just, it got to be too much. And with the first group, I assumed it was, okay, I'm not jiving with specific players. And then the same thing happened with an entirely different group of players. It's like, nope, it's me.
Which is totally fair. I was like, not every system is for everyone, and that's the advantage of having access to so many. One of my favorite systems of all time is Fabula Ultima, which is more like JRPG heavy inspired.
Ooh.
Where it, like, to the extent of there's literally mechanics like 4 limit breaks. Like, it is very JRPG heavy inspired.
That's not one I've ever heard of.
Yeah, it's French.
That's probably why.
Well, originally. So we had to get things like untranslated or translated from French to English. But they just released last year. They just released an outer space version. So you play with the same general mechanics, but there's like new subclasses, like concept of like, what does a space battle look like, everything along those lines. And one of the big additives, one of the big pluses that I will always give to Fabula is initiative isn't hard set. So if you basically roll initiative as a table, and then if your initiative is higher than your opponent's initiative, you as a group get to decide who goes first in your group every single round. So if you're just like, realistically, it wouldn't make sense for the fighter who's 30 years away to go first. Let the mage go first and fireball the entire enemy, and then give them the time necessary to like run up. And some things like, and some things like bounce off each other, where some abilities will let your fellow players go before the enemy does, which is always funny because it's supposed to be like a back and forth. So you can just ping around and just be like, no, it's your turn. No, it's my turn. No, it's your turn. No, it's my turn. If you build it right.
Nope.
The DM's just standing there confused. Like, what do I do? Nothing. You watch your encounter die.
See, I have. If I thought I could bring my, if I thought I could move my camera over without knocking a bunch of stuff over, I would show off my entire shelf of tabletop role-playing books.
I would have to leave my tiny closet room in order to do that.
Well, the up or downside of city living, itty bitty living space. True. So my desk is literally wedged between a giant bookcase and our chest freezer.
You gotta make space where you can make space.
Exactly, because this go round, when we moved into this house, I didn't want my desk to be upstairs I didn't want my PC being in bedroom.
That's fair.
But now the bookcase is mostly loaded with books, and then the bottom shelf is all role-playing books, because I've acquired many over the years. I did, in fact, also one of the things I haven't gotten around to playing, but I backed the Kickstarter for Kobold Press when they did their Kickstarter to kind of combat the open game license stuff. So I have that. I have a whole lot of Dungeons Dragons 5th edition stuff, a whole lot of Pathfinder stuff, 7 Seas. And for a very long time, we had one GM that refused to run Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
And so I played a lot of different White Wolf games in that era.
Everyone has their niche that they like to fill. So, and D&D doesn't cover everything. Again, it's not for everybody. So,
yeah, no. 5th edition does a good job of it. It took, in my opinion, and there are people that will argue they took the good parts of 3.5 and what little good there was in 4th edition, which I absolutely hated, caveat, and put it all together in something that's a little more friendly for those who want to be creative.
Most definitely. One of the biggest things that I always say, especially DMing for super long, proviso, I'm on my third year DMing professionally, where like I DM at a store and I'm paid to do so. People will find ways to make things as broken as possible in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, but that's kind of the point. So there are DMs who are just like, oh man, this is broken, or like this is broken, and I'm just like, you absolutely, if you don't like that, you can run Morkborg and your players will die constantly, like if that's what you want. If you want something that's more brutal. But D&D 5th edition it's the power fantasy for the players. Under no circumstance am I expected to win combats. That's not the point.
The point is I suppose I could just leave it as, why do you play role-playing games? Because for some people, everybody does have a different answer to that, but for me, it's all about the story. And to do stupid, ridiculous things that I could never do in real life.
Oh, no, for sure.
Like,
and that's kind of the question. It's an interesting question to pose because every single person is different. So especially I don't have predetermined set individuals when it comes to my games at the store. Literally, any person could walk in at any point in time, and I have to then gauge the vibe very quickly as to, if I've never played with you before, I have to very quickly figure out what you're here for, and then tailor what I made to kind of fit that. If someone's like, hey, this is my character's backstory, and throws me like a 15-page dossier, I'm like, okay, I'm going to scan this for keywords and then put keywords into my thing. I cannot read a 50-page dossier in 4 hours.
5 minutes.
But
no, and that's me in a nutshell. I mean, even as a player, like, I've done events at conventions, and it's like, I kind of go, what character I bring to the table 100% depends on the vibe of the table. If like most of the table is we're going more for comedy, then I'm going to bring something a lot less serious than I would otherwise.
Yeah, I was also say, which even running at conventions, it's totally dependent on what the players bring. Because again, it can become something very, very goofy, even if I plan something a little bit more serious, or vice versa. I've run games that's just like Nickelodeon Double Dare. Like I've run the goofiest things, and then someone's like, no, I'm a battle-hardened warrior. I was like, okay, how do I get around this? How do I get around the equivalent of Nickelodeon GAC with Battle Orc?
Ooh, that's a fun one.
Yeah.
And looking at the chat, we have hellos from John Knight, Ross, Kristara, Cowboy, and and we've apparently been, and on Twitch we've been rated. Yay! Thank you all. Yay!
Very nice.
Yep.
I DM for that man.
But yeah, now here's a question for you.
Okay.
Have you now? I take it you've DM'd for a while. I take it you've built NPCs from the ground up.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
But have you ever tried to take like an anime character or a video game character and be like, how do I convert that to a D&D character?
Most definitely. I would like to preface this with I do not recommend this show.
Oh no.
So if anyone has seen Overlord, I don't recommend it to the common man. It has a lot of very heavy anime aspects to it that you kind of have to get around if you do not know the flavor of what dense anime has. But one of the characters that I really enjoy is a character named Cocytus, who is a giant insect man, who has multiple limbs and carries a whole bunch of weapons on him at all times. And it's very much the like glory in battle, and that's kind of his mindset. And I used him as like an encampment leader for the PCs to either fight or befriend. And they ended up befriending him, and that became like a huge subplot and things along those lines. So yeah, absolutely. I don't do anything that I feel like my players would know, just in case. I'm not going to be like, and then Sonic the Hedgehog appears.
but see, I feel like with the right group of people, that would be fantastic.
Oh yeah, no, sure.
And then some commentary. Shout out to you as favorite DM ever.
Yep.
And Ross says, just a compliment, you don't look like a Double Dare 2000 warrior, more like a Legends of the Hidden Temple warrior right now.
Both. Yes. Trust me. My music selection for that was just all the intros for every like game show I could find.
Nice. And then somebody in the chat disagreeing with you and says Overlord's actually pretty good. Mm-hmm. And that's where I say to each their own.
It's good. You just gotta really have the I'm used to anime.
I watch a lot of anime. I watched a few episodes and then yeah. I probably won't. I'll be honest. I probably won't bother going back to it.
Yeah, it is not for everyone, and I'm surprised I got as far as I did. I'm gonna be real.
Because my watch list is, my backlog is considerable.
Oh yeah.
And from John, what anime would you consider your gateway anime?
Like the original one that kind of led me to like watching anime consistently.
Mm-hmm.
I have such an easy answer because I have a very specific story. When I was, maybe like 9 or 10 years old, my parents had a babysitter who would come, and she brought the VHS tapes of Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z. I don't watch Dragon Ball Z anymore, and I really need to watch like Sailor Moon Crystal, I think it is, the new one. But those were definitely the start of... I can blame that woman specifically for getting me into this. I don't know who she is.
You are making me feel old. I didn't really get into anime until college.
Mm-hmm.
Or I got introduced to anime in high school in the 90s. Because one of my friends brought over a VHS tape. And then college, everything was converting to DVDs. And speaking of Sailor Moon, This year's the 30th anniversary of the Sailor Moon dub.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
which is wild.
Which just, I think that just ages all of us right there.
Yeah.
And yeah, Doug, who's not here, was the one who actually watched the first 3 seasons of Overlord.
Yeah. So
But
it's just one of those. Like, there are definitely worse, but it's one of those.
Now, there's a role-playing system out there that I've played once or twice that actually is designed to play. The mechanics are you play anime characters.
Oh.
The system is BESM, BESM, big eyes, small mouth.
Amazing.
And it is definitely you make anime characters.
It sure is. I like actively looked it up.
Yep. And no, I've been playing D&D for about 20. I've been playing role-playing games for about 20 years. And subsequently, after I pull inspiration at this point from other media that I am consuming, and how can I make this into whatever system we're playing at the time.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. And then to kind of base it off of what you just referenced with the BESM, Masks is also very good if you want, like, it feels like the same vibe but superheroes. It's very fun where it's rules loose, but conceptually you're just like, oh, I have a superpower. It's like, okay, cool, but what's like the recourse of that? Like, what does that mean? It's like, oh yeah, I have super speed, but I can't stop. Like, it's there has to be like that sort of recoil that you then get to fix later, which leads to some very fun things. And that it just reminded me of the vibe.
Yep. That also sounds very similar to when I've played Mutants and Masterminds.
Oh yes, I've also played Mutants and Masterminds.
And I the last time I played that, I basically took character inspo from like a mashup of Avatar: The Last Airbender and Shang-Chi and put it together.
Yep.
Because our setting was a pre-World War II New York. Lots of silly fun and some commentary in the chat. Master Siloseph mentions their influential anime were DBZ, Cowboy Bebop, but Tenchi Muyo and Inuyasha were some of the originals, and Excel Saga. And Cowboy is saying that they need to watch Cowboy Bebop and loved the show Megalobox. Right there with you. I freaking loved that.
It's so good.
The second season or sequel series was also fantastic. So that's one I would recommend to almost everybody. Trigun.
Another fantastic show. I haven't watched the new one yet, but
if you go in expecting it to be basically a remaster, it's not. It is a very different vibe. I enjoyed them both, but they are very different shows.
Yeah, the remake was actually pretty good.
I absolutely loved it, and I have the opening theme on my Spotify anime playlist.
Did you see that they're making a season 2?
Yes, and I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I was also the only thing I was just like, man, I'm really upset about like characters not being here, and then I saw the announcement for season 2. I'm like, is that Millie? Let's go.
Yep. And a gamer question.
Oh.
Do you miss the days when DLC was free instead of pay for?
Man, I miss the days when games were multiple discs. Like, you kidding me?
I don't even remember. Like, I've only really played MMOs, so I'm used to paying for expansions. So I don't remember games. I don't even think, was DLC even a thing back in the day?
Yes.
Yeah, since like the original Xbox.
See, I never used Xbox. I was
Uh,
like strictly PC gaming.
you know what? PC gaming might be different, but for Xbox and PlayStation, yeah, no. And yes, people are going back into OG Final Fantasy VII with multiple discs.
I still have mine.
I tried to play the original 7 and couldn't because I didn't get into video games until much later.
That's right.
And all right, for Trigun from Cowboy, watch the original first or does it matter?
I would say, like, watch the original first just for the sake of knowing base storyline. I haven't watched Stampede, so I don't know how well Stampede goes over like the base storyline and such.
It's it's a similar but different story. So I will actually agree. Watch the original first. Skip the OVA.
Yeah,
because I remember thinking it was mediocre.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the OVA.
To be fair, I'm also one of the weird people who say that you should watch Full Metal Alchemist and then watch Brotherhood.
You are not the only person I've heard say that. That said, I've only seen Brotherhood.
That's fair. I was also which is totally fine because I'm used to people being like, I've only watched, like, I didn't know there was another one, and I'm like, yep.
And then apparently with one of the new Pokemon games, there's an extra story quest DLC that you have to pay an extra $30 for. And okay, that's
Man, I don't know. I played Diamond and Pearl. Like, that was like the last Pokemon game I actually played.
Me and Pokemon, that's a story. But suffice it to say, I don't do the Pokemon games. And depending on if it's just an additional quest, $30 is not actually worth it. Like, for example, what was the last game I did? For certain games that I know I'm going to play, I will pre-order like a deluxe edition that includes the season pass for all the DLC. Therefore, I'm paying like $80 upfront, but I'm getting enough DLC where that's worth it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But
it's wild how that's kind of become the norm now. And then when we get hit with not the norm, it's like crazy. Like, oh my god, Baldur's Gate 3, and they just gave out the source code. That's crazy. We could just make our own levels now for free. And I'm like, dang.
And yep, and I'm currently working my way through Ghosts of Yote.
Oh yeah.
But I have a fascination with like just the Asian history stuff, period. Nice. Oh, and we have a Darren who is no longer dead.
A phone call would have been nice.
Who's Lloyd Frontiera as your icon, which is very cool.
I love that guy. I think we went over this last time. That's not it.
Oh, it's not it?
Nope. It's Misogi Kumagawa.
Right, the guy who turned the sky red. I remember.
Yep, and we're looking at
John, don't make me feel old.
I know, make me feel old. And then somebody brought up Dragon Age DLCs, and then back in the day when it was expansion packs on disc, such as The Sims. Yep.
Oh,
That was my sister had a bunch of that.
I said, sorry, boss lady. I tried to get her to let me go early, and she would not. So I ended up asleep.
Yeah, sort of figured, and that's fine. But okay. So your opinion, Darren, on Ross mentioned the new Pokemon game, and for an extra story quest DLC, it's an extra $30.
Ridiculous.
Yep, because that's kind of where the conversation has led, is to video games and DLC and free stuff versus having to pay extra money.
About to say, what happened? You buy the game, you get everything. Like, what the hell?
Yep.
Nintendo got too greedy, says the chat.
Yeah.
Although I would blame Blizzard and GTA and the microtransactions.
Oh god, can I just? I know it's not, but can I just personally blame Bungie? Can I just?
Why are we blaming Bungie? I mean, I'm not against this, but
specifically for Destiny. Destiny has so much DLC, and apparently, like all of it's not good.
Okay. I will actually agree with 90% of that. I played Destiny 1. I did some things. I built a character that the game was not designed for, did reasonably well, and actually enjoyed the first couple of DLCs until the raids became priority. That's when I stopped playing.
That seems to be the tale as old as time. Everyone's like, Destiny 1 was good. I'm like, nice.
But I don't play I do not play shooters that require insane amounts of accuracy, because I'm bad at that, and I'm bad with sniping. But they made an entire class where I could basically punch my way at, or explode my way out of everything.
Oh, wow.
And my husband got super annoyed with me because I was leveling faster than he was by basically breaking the mechanics.
It's put in the game. They let you do it.
Yep.
Well, Maple is her favorite character, or at least one of them. So, I mean, mechanic breaking is in her nature.
Yup. Then again, if any of you are familiar with Borderlands, my favorite playthrough was with Brick.
Oh yeah, I love Brick.
So that should tell you a lot about the way I play video games.
Have you played Tiny Tina's at all?
Yes.
Okay. I'm currently, what is it? It's like the Necromancer and Berserker build. There's an ability that just lets you explode for a set amount of your health, and you deal damage based on that. It's gross. You just walk into a bunch of enemies and blow up, and then you re-heal all of that instantly.
Yeah, I have not picked up 4 yet.
Neither way.
I should, but
I'm like waiting to see if someone's just like, but it's secretly bad. And I'm like,
I know I have met the lead writer, so.
Oh, nice.
But. And da-da-da. And here we go. Here's the anime questions. Have you watched the show No Game No Life?
I feel like I'm ousting myself. I feel like I'm going to be put on a list. Season 1, yes, I have seen No Game No Life. I didn't watch there's a movie, right? I didn't watch the movie.
Yeah, watch the movie.
I think there's a season 2.
Nope.
Okay.
Forever. Forever season 1.
Well,
but the movie is well worth the watch.
no.
Apparently now we're making a list.
Yeah.
I'm good.
We're out here being Santa Claus. We're checking it twice.
So is there any anime you are currently watching with that non-existent free time?
Yes. Yes is the easiest answer. So we just saw the newest Demon Slayer movie, as I'm all caught up on that. Kaiju number 8 is good.
Yes,
that time I got reincarnated as a slime is good.
Yes. And
Windbreaker's good.
Yup.
One that I don't hear a whole bunch of stuff about. I have a list up for everyone else. I'm not just rattling these off at the top of the dome. That'd be amazing. There was one that it only has 12 episodes. It only has 1 season. And it's one of those insane isekai names. And I apologize right now. But it's actually really good. It is, and I quote, full government name, Chilling in Another World with level 2 super cheat powers. It's literally like, it's a farming simulator. It really is. It's this guy who just loves his wife. It's such a good show for that.
Darren, did you watch that one, or is that one Doug tried to watch?
I think that's one Doug tried to watch, and it's one that made my list, but never.
Because from what I'm determining based on that small sample size, half of your list is my list, and the other half is Doug and Darren.
Yeah, that's fair. I have one heck of a list.
Same.
I still have so much to watch.
And John Knight wants to know, what did you think of Kaiju number 8 season 2?
I'm not done yet. Don't spoil anything.
I'm not. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, no, it's very good so far.
And that's all I'm gonna say, because I hate being spoiled, therefore I will not spoil things for anybody else. And we've got another good one from the chat is reincarnated as the 7th prince so I could focus on perfecting my magical abilities.
I'm worried about you.
I don't
on my list as well.
I dropped it after 3 episodes.
I tend to avoid most isekai as a genre. That entire genre, as overwhelming majority, just get labeled as not for me.
Yeah.
There's been
especially Vending Machine.
Oh, dude, Vending Machine's actually really good.
I refuse to watch it on principle because the premise just, I couldn't bring myself to do it, and Doug gives me so much crap for that.
Yep, so I had to do it in his place tonight, even though I haven't seen it myself.
Did you say you watched Slime, right?
Oh
No.
yeah, Slime is probably one of my favorite isekais, period. And I keep getting on the Doug and Ange to watch it. Doug to catch up, Ange to start it.
Well, for me, it's actually the genre, and someone in the chat, exactly what I've been saying. The genre got oversaturated, but some of them are really good. And their favorite is That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Yep. The one I thoroughly enjoyed, like will probably make my top list for this year, was Senju.
Okay. That's very valid.
But as a whole, there's just too many. Most of them are mediocre at best, and pretty art isn't enough to sell me on a show.
The Shoku Sensei is the other isekai.
And actually, that's a good answer to Cowboy's question of what is the isekai.
Well, I mean, they went out of their way to create a specific studio for that show. And it was one of the first couple of isekai that really gained traction in the light novel world, so.
It's true.
And apparently, from John Knight, Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie has 3 trilogies, and it will cover the final battle.
Yeah, it's going to be 3 separate movies.
I'm not caught up with Demon Slayer, so there's that. That's one I probably will eventually go back and finish.
I made it through season 1, and that was all I could take. I'd rather watch Goblin Slayer.
Goblin Slayer was fantastic, and I'm annoyed at Doug for not finishing that.
Same.
Again, we all have our list. I'm not going to watch Goblin Slayer.
And that's fair. That's
Now, on that note, here's one. Would you watch Interspecies Reviewers?
No. Same song and dance. I watched the first episode of Chainsaw Man and stopped watching.
Oh my god.
You know what? That is fair. Chainsaw Man was one I thoroughly enjoyed, but I get it. And then in the chat, there's one called Gate, has some title like
Gate. Yeah, we're getting a new season of that after almost 10 years, I think.
I was gonna say Gate was out around the same time as Erased.
It was around 2014.
Yeah. I don't remember when it was. I just remember watching that around the same time as Erased.
It was 2014, 2015, I think.
And that was before I got married, so there's that.
Speaking of which, Erased, fantastic show. Very good. That is like one of the quintessential thrillers.
Please get me to get her to watch Steins Gate if she enjoyed Erased.
Oh, Steins Gate's so good too.
That is on my list.
I can't. I haven't. I don't think I finished watching the other one that they make like a robot. I didn't watch that one, but I did watch the original.
There's 3 in the trilogy. Well, it's called the Science Adventure series. First comes Chaos Head, then Steins Gate, then Robotic Notes, and then since then, Steins Gate had a remake per se called Steins Gate 0, and then Chaos Head had a remake called Chaos Child.
Gotcha.
Opinions on Ergo Proxy.
That's old, never watched.
I've not seen it, although I think that's actually I think that one's also one
2014, I think.
That's been recommended to me, so I have based on reactions, I think that's one of those weird ones that if I actually get around to it, I'll enjoy it.
It gives me like it's literally in the also search with it gives like Serial Project Lane or like Serial Experiments Lane vibes. Yep.
And I freaking loved Serial Experiments Lane.
I have the physical copy of Lane. Like I freaking adore Lane.
I have the 4D buried in a box upstairs is the 4 DVDs.
Can we all real quick? I don't mean to derail us. But for Ergo Proxy, the cover art looks like an Evanescence album, and I can't unsee that now.
Okay, I need to actually go to my anime list and look that up because oh my god, I hate you're right, and I hate you for that because now I can't unsee that. And now we're getting the questions. have you watched? Here we go with the questions about have you seen specific shows? Have you ever seen the show by Rock? Show by Rock is it's a music-based show.
Mm-hmm. It's technically isekai as well.
I have not. I've seen Bocchi the Rock, which is very good.
And have you seen Attack on Titan?
People are gonna freaking massacre me for this one. I made it halfway through season 3 and gave up.
You should have finished season 3 and stopped there.
I just haven't made it through a single episode because I've had other stuff to do.
I did it. You can go back and check out the episode where Mario and I basically spent the first half of the show dissecting Attack on Titan and griping about the final season in all of its parts.
Oh.
Yeah.
The ending of the series almost killed the series for me.
Ooh.
But
dang.
I have rambled about that at length. And going back, Ergo Proxy, the show is like an Evanescence playlist. And in
That's so funny.
It is. And in random celebrity news, the actress Diane Keaton passed away yesterday.
Oh.
Aging myself on that one. But
yeah. Well, to be fair, even though I never started Attack on Titan, one show I made several seasons into and said I'm done was one of everybody's favorites, or many people's favorites. I couldn't with My Hero Academia. I just couldn't.
That's fair. Like, I got through, I think, season 2, and then I kind of just, it just felt
See,
I got through either season 3 or part of season 4. I don't remember which.
See, for me, we binged a bunch of My Hero all at once to start basically leading into a new season. And so by that point, we kept up with it. It's fun, but it's definitely not for everyone.
I would go, but I've been tempted to go back and watch the villain arc because I will give credit to them, at least the villain's head character.
Yeah, was it?
The villain arc was so well done, and like when you guys go back and say talk about My Hero and being done with it, the arc I would recommend is the villain arc. But yeah, overall it basically kind of turned into same old and very comic booky.
Yeah. The second that Deku started getting like other separate powers unrelated to All for One, I was just, or One for All, I was just like, okay, I'm done.
All for One was season 2's villain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
more or less.
It's season 2 and villain.
That's a complicated. It's not that simple, and I'm gonna leave that one at that.
I kind of figured, but my point was that we saw more of him. It felt like in season 2, just getting to know the basics about his background.
Yeah, except they don't deep dive into that until much. They do a better deep dive much later. But
it happens.
But speaking of My Hero, the final season is airing now, and that's one of the very few shows I'm actually watching from fall 2025.
And I keep waiting for it to pull an Attack on Titan, then go into final season, part 2, part 3, part 4, part infinity, like whatever.
My Hero hasn't done that so much as they've just done very lengthy seasons that were ongoing. Much more like a Bleach or One Piece, where they'll do entire story arcs. There was one season lasted several months. I don't remember how many episodes.
It's about like the Pokemon series where every season had different amounts of episodes.
Yes.
I mean, hell, the first season had almost 90 episodes.
Yes, My Hero was like that. And now Ross wants to know, have you seen the anime Les Portraits des Petits Cassettes?
Hold on to everything you have. I don't know French. Absolutely not.
I may very well have
anime.
I may very well have butchered that pronunciation because I don't speak French.
Anime Portrait des 3 episodes each, starting at 40. I've never even heard of that one.
Same.
Me neither.
It's a 3-episode OVA. It's very small.
And while we're on the topic of shows that came back for fall of 2025, Spy Family.
Yes. I need to watch season 3. And yes, I did watch it dubbed.
Season 3 so far, very fun.
Yeah.
I haven't started anything this season because, well, y'all saw I was asleep until about 20 minutes ago.
You were asleep for 8 months until 20 minutes ago?
No, work, sleep, rinse, repeat.
Pretty much.
Yep.
It's nice in the sense that the weather's finally turning cooler and stuff's starting to slow down. But at the same time, unfortunately, drama at day job is picking up because they can't keep a management staff to save their life. I mean, it's on the way out the door, but at the same time, I got to deal with it for the time being.
And and I was purposely trying to avoid talking about food.
I mean, food wars is always a valid topic.
Food wars?
The anime Food Wars, I've never seen it.
I haven't touched that with a 10-foot pole.
Oh, come on. It's actually quite informational.
I'm just like, that's hentai. I'm not.
It's not.
I know it's not,
but
my brain says it is.
No, it's not even close.
Have you, and from the chat, have you seen A Sign of Affection?
I'm gonna get freaking massacred for this. I stopped watching it.
Curiosity, why?
Because it didn't translate texts and it doesn't translate sign language. In the sub, at least. I did not watch the dub.
I watched the sub and had 0 issues with that.
Really? It may have been like whatever I had it set on. Like maybe it was a different version of subtitles or something.
Because I watch most of my anime subbed.
Same.
You know, chat, go ahead and judge that. And I did not have that issue with A Sign of Affection. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a really well done romance story. And I believe I saw something recently that season 2 got announced.
I believe you're correct. I think I started Sign of Affection, but the only other anime similar to that I've seen was A Silent Voice. Did you make it through that one? I don't think you've seen it, right, Ange?
No.
I have not seen A Silent Voice either.
But no, if you I would actually go try Sign of Affection is one I will recommend to most people. So if I would say either go try the dub or check the settings on the subtitles, because I didn't have those issues and that was absolutely amazing. If you enjoyed what you were, if that was your big thing as to why you didn't finish it and you actually enjoyed what you saw.
Yeah, no, for sure. It felt super weird. Like I felt like I was missing such heavy context because I'm just like, what's happening?
I'm about to hit you with a whole bunch of different romance titles and see if I can gauge your opinion on these.
Okay, shoot.
Did you watch Dangers in My Heart?
You say Dangers in My Heart?
Mm-hmm.
I have not.
Ever heard of it?
No.
One of the best romance animes of recent years.
Nice.
Even if they are just middle schoolers. And that's the one thing I hate is a lot of the romance anime that have come out that have actually been quite entertaining have been either a middle school or very early high school romance and not the later high school romance that we're all used to.
Mm.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I liked A Sign of Affection as much as I did, because it was after high school.
Yeah.
Let's see. Horimiya?
No.
And
wow. Okay.
Darren, this is to you from Ross. Ross says he hated Silent Voice for preference reasons.
Okay.
And swapping genres a bit from the chat, have you watched Sakamoto Days?
That's Matthew Mercer, baby. Yeah, I've watched Sakamoto Days.
Are you caught up on it? It's the real question.
I'm not.
Okay, you need to get about to say lights, camera, action.
Oh God.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yup. Darren, I finished season 2.
I think I got the last episode and that's it. But I was just like, okay, there's a plot twist I didn't see coming.
And I watched that subbed, so I forgot Matt Mercer was in that.
Yep.
Wow. That's it. And
on the subject of Sakamoto, haven't you heard of Sakamoto? The one where the guy is literally perfect in everything he does.
Is it like a spin-off? Or...
No, it was one of those, I believe it was one of those short shows, but it's a guy that he's in school, but everyone tries to basically prank him or get one over on him, and he reacts to it in just the perfect way.
I've seen clips of it, but I've not watched it. I know what you're talking about.
I do not know what you're talking about.
Haven't you heard of Sakamoto? Basically, got your stereotypical high school character, but he is perfect in everything he does. He has a positive impact on pretty much everyone he comes in contact with. And just it's one of those interesting short shows.
Ross says the premiere for With You, Our Love will make it through. Will air Tuesday on Crunchyroll. And from John Knight, have you watched Delicious in Dungeon?
Yes, and I did watch the dub. I did watch bread. Yeah, I know. Let's rotating back to romance for a second, especially like romance anime that is adults. One that I actually really enjoyed, I watched it with my wife, is Recovery of an MMO Junkie.
Yes.
Is actually really good. It very much gives you that sort of harken back to like World of Warcraft days of like the classic like MMOs and things, and it's like how you can reconnect with people that you completely do not originally remember from times gone past. It was really good. It's really cute.
Yes. Another adult romance. I think I watched season 1. Due to time, forgot season 2. Did you remember Science Fell in Love? So I tried to prove it.
Yes, I have seen that. It's actually really fun.
It was a interesting take on the way they broke it down was just hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And from the chat, My Dress Up Darling is another one they're asking about. It's on the vein of romance.
Multiple people have asked me to watch it, and I just have not gotten to it.
And on that note, 2.5 Dimensional Seduction. I think you've never even heard that one.
Oh, I thought you were making a pun or a joke about Dress Up Darling. I have no idea what that is.
That is a whole nother anime that falls into the same category as Dress Up Darling on the surface.
Gotcha.
I thought that was the VT. I thought that was the VTuber one.
No. 2.5 Dimensional Seduction is a cosplay anime.
Gotcha.
Oh, I know what that one.
There's two, and we get back to the point of there's as we are throwing titles out left and right, there's too much anime out, so any one person cannot keep up with everything.
Unless there was one YouTuber that tried and did a good job for a long time, but unfortunately, his account got axed by YouTube just randomly one day, and I think he's trying to make a comeback at this point. I don't remember. But do y'all remember Misty Cornexia?
Oh, I feel like I watched a Joey the Anime Man video about that.
He used to associate with Aki and Joey. This was like 8-10 years ago.
And his channel getting taken down was semi-recent. If it's who I think it is,
it's within the past 3 to 4 years that I think his channel got taken down, and he tried a different channel for a while, and then he recently got like his main channel unlocked like within the past year, I think.
I think Joey did a video about this.
But Misty just got hit with random DMCA and other crap just like out of nowhere.
Yep.
Yep.
And while going back to romance anime, another one from the chat, My Happy Marriage.
I have seen My Happy Marriage. I have seen the dub of My Happy Marriage. It's actually really cute.
Season 2 hit very differently than season 1.
Oh, for sure.
Like that definitely, season 2 felt much more Monster of the Week focused as opposed to the romance.
Yeah.
Not to say I didn't enjoy it, but it was definitely a very different vibe, in my opinion. And then going back to With You, Our Love Will Make It Through. Ross is giving kind of a synopsis and says it's modern. It's got modern Romeo and Juliet vibes. I don't know if I'd call that romance or tragedy.
But about to say, Boarding School Juliet, that was a lot of fun.
But then again, I wouldn't mind watching basically what amounts to an anime take on Shakespeare.
Let's see. Boarding School Juliet got close-ish.
But then again,
there was
no, we're doing it again. From the chat, Apothecary Diaries.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Who hasn't watched
Apothecary? The funniest part of Apothecary Diaries is the fact that the mangaka is in prison for tax evasion. That is the funniest part of Apothecary Diaries.
There was I think that I think the author of No Game No Life was initially in the exact same predicament, tax evasion.
It's so funny when we're just like, oh my god, no, they're in prison. What happened? It's like tax evasion. We're like, thank God.
You know, and funny that, that's how they got Al Capone in the end.
True.
No,
They got him on tax evasion.
That's why there's laws regarding the IRS where even if it's illegal, you have to report it.
Yeah, famous mangaka Al Capone.
Nope.
Well, not to say there's enough anime regarding the mob, so why not?
True.
You know, in whether that's the mafia, there's a couple of mafia anime, there's a bunch of Yakuza anime.
We were just talking about Sakamoto days.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I wish Doug was here for this one because Sakamoto Days is really what I wanted from One Punch Man.
91 Days, I believe it was.
But
the one that we watched a while back.
I still feel One Punch Man was superior to My Hero because at least that one was watchable.
I got through 2 episodes of One Punch Man and hated it.
I love the concept of what One Punch Man was. Like seeing the original source material and then watching One Punch Man, and I was like, how did we get here? I'm like, these are stick figures, and this is wild animation.
Madhouse kind of went all out on season 1.
I hated One Punch Man, but personal taste. And now we're jumping all over the place. And have any of you guys watched My Home Hero?
I have not, but I'm actively looking at it.
That was one I remember enjoying, but it was definitely one of those, what in the heck did I just watch?
Oh, yeah, I feel that.
But I absolutely love those kinds of shows.
Oh, here's a recent one. Did you watch
I didn't. Thank you for asking.
Oh Lord, help me here. It aired last season. Oh, Fragrant Flower.
That's on my Netflix watch list because it finally dropped on Netflix a season late.
Yeah. Fragrant Flower blooms with dignity.
Yes. Not, but I've heard good things, especially about the manga. Apparently, is really good.
Yep, my friend said the manga's really starting to be dramatic, and he's like, "This is a bigger than what he realized."
And now for bringing us back to games, in a sense, did you watch Sword Art Online?
I watched season 1 and I made it halfway through season 2, and realistically, if you gave me the first 6 episodes, I would be like, Sword Art was a good show. If you gave me the first 6 and that was it.
Okay, so
I highly recommend going back and watching the Alicization arc. Alice made pretty much the whole everything after the initial.
I was actually going to say something similar. I would say watch Gun Gale and then watch Alice. Because there was one story arc that was absolute shit.
Alfheim.
Alfheim was boring. Where the story arc where they turned Asuna into a damsel in distress was just ugh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Correct.
And yep. And then Alfheim was boring. Gun Gale, I'm in the minority and I enjoyed.
I like Gun Gale. I just never watched the spinoff.
The spinoff was fun.
Talking about specifically not like trapped in video game, but just video game anime in general, Shangri-La Frontier goes crazy.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, this is a anime about a video game. Why are we hitting this hard?
The what?
Never did watch that one, but I know what you're talking about.
It's very good, and it doesn't seem like it should be, because again, it's the concept of it's just a video game. It's really good.
Oh, it is really good.
Both Fury is another one. The entire concept is the main character is someone who has never played a video game. Her best friend convinces her to join in MMO, and well, she doesn't know what she's doing and breaks the game. It's fantastic.
And then the programmers are constantly throughout the game centering most of the nerfs around her.
And there's actual chat logs with the devs, like at the end of every episode. It's fantastic.
If you like things along those lines, and if you liked Sword Art Online in like the trapped aspect, quality assurance in Another World is really good too. It's really fun. Basically, the debug team for a game got stuck in the game, but a couple of the people are still debugging the game while they're stuck. So like the main character will like run along walls and see if he like clips into it and stuff like that.
You said quality assurance?
Yeah, quality assurance in Another World.
You know what?
Never had
Interesting.
one like that, but I think that was one that Doug watched for some reason.
Yeah. I've never heard of this.
Yep, it came out last year, 2024.
Summer 2024, and you know what?
I feel Ross has talked about it. Either Ross or Doug has talked about it.
I feel like you're right. And you know what? That premise sounds interesting enough where
You're gonna add an isekai to your list? Oh my god.
I occasionally do that.
But
It's rare.
I can't get you to watch Slime, but you'll never mind.
We've gone over this. I'm picky.
I know you are.
I'm looking at the Rimuru figure that I have above me.
Well, like I said, my main thing about Slime is just the world building. Is one of the better in anime, period.
Yep, I completely agree.
Speaking of world building, I'm going to go ahead and ask my question. Are you familiar with High School DxD?
I'm familiar with the concept. I didn't watch it.
Okay. If you like Slime, if nothing else, the world building on High School DxD actually is pretty good. Like, in terms of character depth and just expansion on the world as a whole,
yeah,
it's my personal favorite. If you can get past the ecchi, which there is, I mean, it's there because it's there.
I watched Overlord.
Well,
for the world building, so
I'd say Overlord. The problem with Overlord, I mean, I love it, but it just has too many unanswered questions, and DxD doesn't. It expands the world without leaving too much to question. But at the same time, it's interesting enough to keep you intrigued.
Nice.
Like, do you like mythology? Do you like history? Do you like historical figures?
I run Dungeons and Dragons. I need to like those things.
That is not a requirement, just highly recommended.
Oh, trust me. When someone's like, my god's Apollo, I'm like, oh god, what did he do again?
Basically, you start with the Christian faith, and then by the time season 3 rolls around, you've got the Norse gods, you've got you start tapping into the Hindu gods, then uh, you got the Greek gods that come into play, then you got a couple of others, and you got historical figures like King Arthur, Sun Wukong, um, the Pendragons. Then you got weapons. I think from Charlemagne, um, and then it's literally a little bit of everything. You have the Holy Grail gets involved in the novel because the anime didn't make it that far yet.
Dang, just the melting pot of everything.
Pretty much, and that's the part that I always try to stress to people. Like the world building is just incredible. You got the spear, you got the Longinus, the spear that pierced Jesus Christ. You got the boosted gears containing the heavenly dragons. There's just so much incorporated into it. That's why I always tell people like it's way more than what it first appears to be.
I will agree with that. That said, from the chat, have you seen the anime romance game Endo and Kobayashi Live?
The second that I heard Kobayashi, I was like, Dragon Maid?
No.
That's the only point of reference I have. So no.
It's basically two high schoolers talk to characters in a game and get labeled as gods.
That's funny.
See, the descriptions brought up previously reminded me. Have you ever played the role-playing system Scion? It's a White Wolf system where basically your players play as children of gods, and there's source material for many different pantheons. And the last time I played it, we ended up with no two people were from the same pantheon, but everybody was a trickster god. Think Loki. Think Loki with one straight man.
Nice.
And it got very stupid very quickly by design, and ended up being a lot of fun. But for those who like mythology, that's definitely a role-playing game to look into.
Yeah.
Going back to anime from the chat, have you seen the show 100 Girlfriends?
That's not real. You cannot tell me that many realies is in the actual name.
That actually is the title.
I don't believe that's not real.
The 100 Girlfriends that really, 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 really love you.
Why is the last one capitalized?
Because light novel.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
no,
look,
it
achieved the Guinness World Record here recently for his rant. His rant at the end of season 2 was the longest performance that just went straight through in TV history, apparently. Or at least in game history. And the worst part is, this is only for like 10 of the girls. We haven't even gotten to number 100 yet, and he's already set a world record, going on and on and on about him.
Oh my god. 1/10 of the way there.
It's fun.
No, I'm not.
And we've already touched on vending machine.
We have touched on vending machine.
Because that just came up on in the chat.
Wisteria, Wand and Sword was fun.
Yeah.
It's nothing like super to write home about, at least not yet, but it's fun.
How many plushies is she gonna end up with? That's the real question.
Too many.
True.
And isn't that one Ross brought up a lot when it was airing?
Maybe, but that was also a me and Doug show.
Fair.
I swear. Speaking of Doug, speaking of past Doug, if he watches this, I am actively watching how a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom. It's actually really good. I was about to say.
All right, I'm wrong, and it wasn't Ross.
He started that. Like, when I went to visit him the other week, he went ahead and showed me the first 3 episodes. It's been on my list for God knows how long. But on that note, did you hear about the other one that happened to air during the same season as Realist Hero called Prince's Guide to Raising a Kingdom Out of Debt?
I think that he mentioned it when we had our impromptu meeting, but I have not picked that one up yet.
It was just kind of funny that during that season he watched Realist Hero, I watched A Genius Prince, and then I think he caught up on Genius Prince later, and he said, it's funny that you got 2 anime basically doing the same thing, but in totally different ways in the exact same season.
That happens.
That's fun. Yeah.
Circling back to some kind of things we've already touched on. One anime that I really liked, and I'm in the minority on this one that gets labeled as an isekai, was Drifters. Basically, this is an old one. It aired the same season as Yuri on Ice.
Oh, man.
This is old.
And Drifters basically you're in a purgatory, if you will, but all the good guys are now the villains, and all of the villains are the heroes, if you will. And they were setting it up where the ultimate bad guy was Jesus Christ.
It looks like Helsing.
Yep. Yeah, you can't watch it on Crunchyroll, so I wonder where you can watch it.
I watched Drifters on Crunchyroll.
It says videos aren't available.
You can read it on Mangadex.
Interesting. Weird, because that was how I watched it. But again,
they were the ones who originally streamed it, I believe. Because I remember a whole conversation about that when we decided not to do a page for it.
And Ross is correcting me that Wisteria was one he didn't watch. And then John's asking about Zenshu, which we brought up with all the isekai talk earlier.
I got an old one for you. That you would probably. That was a little bit of a trip. Did you ever watch Dream Eater Mary?
Dreamy or Mary?
No, Dream Eater.
Dream Eater. Mary.
That whole show was an interesting concept. Basically, she's a dream demon of sorts, and she ends up in the real world. And then you got demons that are basically going around interrupting people's dreams. And it was one of those older shows. It's got a very interesting concept.
I'm trying to look up who.
And they were actually causing real damage to the people whose dreams they infiltrated. That whole show was fun.
And Ross is throwing back a classic here. Have you ever seen Witchblade?
Yes, I've seen Witchblade. I have not watched all of Witchblade, but I know of the existence of Witchblade.
I think I watched Witchblade, or no, it was Witchblade.
I've never heard of it, so there's that.
I
And
never watched it.
Yeah, Witchblade and like Elfen Lied were in the same kind of general vibe.
Yeah, so while Angela was here, I showed her 2 shows: High School DxD and Elfen Lied.
Mhm.
Elfen Lied was a serious what in the heck?
I should not have
Yep.
watched that as a child.
Yeah.
I was like
agree.
I was like 14. I was like, dang, I shouldn't be watching this.
How old are you?
29.
Okay, what month?
No, this is a who's the baby of the room.
What month were you born?
Oh, what month? I thought you said 1 month, and I was
No.
like,
No, what?
until what?
No, it is very much
August.
August. Oh, so I'm actually not the youngest one here this time.
There you
Wow. I was born in February,
go. Oh, nice.
so
I'm not the youngest today. Wow.
today.
I have seen Mashal, but I watched it subbed, not dubbed.
Same. Mashal was another one that was so much fun. You can't
Yeah.
help but enjoy it for its stupidity.
I totally agree. It was very,
Uh,
very goofy, very fun.
Unfortunately, you let the music group that does the music, but you couldn't get through Call of the Night.
Mashal spoke. Creepy Notes is a fantastic Japanese band.
We love creepy nuts on this house.
I absolutely. You guys are not gonna let me ever get over
No,
that.
because you would enjoy season 2. Season 2 is more or less what you, I think, were looking for, personally.
After the 2 main characters had 0 redeeming qualities, and
They develop redeeming qualities.
I'm going to piss off. I'm gonna piss off Doug when he hears this, and say that the 2 main characters were worse than Deku from My Hero with how bad they were written. And for me, writing and character development is a deal breaker. Everything else you guys said to try and sell me on the show, you were right. The art, gorgeous. The music, perfection. I can't get past bad writing.
That's honestly, that's fair. I run into the same thing when it comes to just
like there are people for some people like my husband, if he doesn't like the art style of an anime, he'll be like, nope, I'm done.
And that's most people's excuse for not watching JoJo.
I freaking love JoJo. JoJo's great.
I have not seen JoJo. I've just heard about all of it.
Yep.
Have you watched, and from the chat, have you watched Cyberpunk Edge Runners?
I have. I'm excited for the 2nd season. I'm not really sure how that's going to function. Like if we're following a new group of people, or
it's not going to follow the same character.
They're dead. Spoilers.
Well, I'm not sure where they're going to go from there, but I can't wait to find out.
Yeah.
I loved Cyberpunk.
It's very good.
I put way too many hours into the game. Loved the anime. Have not played the role-playing game, though I know of its existence.
I need to learn. I need to learn it because we do offer it, but it's very rare that people want to play it because they just don't know it.
I would want to play that.
Mm-hmm.
But my free time is occasionally limited.
What a mood. I know that we have a question, or we have a statement in chat. If I can overshadow that for half a second. Did anyone watch The Eminence in Shadow?
Yes.
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 I think I'm the only one that didn't.
It's very good.
It is.
It is incredibly good.
He's such an edgelord that it's good.
Yeah, I was also it is very over the top. It is very edgy. Specifically, there's one scene in season 2 that it isn't a spoiler, but there's a fight that happens with the main character where the main character is walking towards someone and then is gone from screen. There is no jump cut. He just isn't there anymore. And it's the wildest shit.
And
it's so fun. It's so fun.
Ross,
when shooting video delusions become your reality.
And Ross brings us back to romance by my comment from earlier. The season that Wistoria was out, he was talking. There were multiple romance and slice of lifestyle shows that he was talking about, including Plus Size Elf, Magical Girl, and Evil Lieutenant used to be arch enemies, and Why Does Nobody Remember Me in World?
I started Plus Size Elf, and the other two, nope.
I just know the memes around Plus Size Elf. That's it. I don't know the other ones.
That is fair. Nope. And I suppose this really does go back to that there's so much anime, and all of there's enough overlap in what we enjoy and what we talk about that I forget who brought up what.
Mm-hmm. And the way the group seems to work is if Doug's seen it, I've probably seen it. But if Doug's seen it, Angela probably hasn't seen it. But if Angela's seen it, I've probably seen it. I'm kind of the middle of the road between the two of them.
The running joke is if I really enjoyed a show, Doug probably will hate it, and vice versa, with notable exceptions.
Mm-hmm. The Dress Up Darling, Spy Family, and was there any others that...
Apothecary Diary?
Apothecary.
No, that all three of us.
Oh.
Because remember, Apothecary wasn't me because time.
Spy Family, Dress Up Darling, and Bo Fury.
I feel like there was another one.
I feel like there was two, and I don't remember. Because you didn't watch Apothecary Diaries. Doug refuses to finish
Goblin
Slayer.
You refused Call of the Night.
No, I tried Call of the Night. I didn't like it.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You refused to finish it.
And Doug refuses to watch Sword Art. I'm sure there is. Oh well.
How do we feel about Free Ren?
That's a Doug show, but
that is very much a Doug show, and I'm okay. I have a thing that I know I need to get over, but if something is just brought up to me incessantly with you need to watch this by too many people, I won't on principle. Yeah. And that is exactly what happened with Free Ren. Mm-hmm. To the point where I'm just going to wait for it to be all done and then binge the whole thing.
As someone who hasn't seen either that or FMA, was Free Ren, in y'all's opinion, really good enough to dethrone FMA from the greatest of all time according to my anime list?
No, but they're different genres, so I can't realistically claim one is better than the other. I can say Full Metal Alchemist story is better. I can say that Free Ren's world building is better.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it is more accurately. That is probably the epitome of how mainstream anime is now versus when FMA was released in the States.
Yeah.
because so many more people now are watching anime, period. And the classics, for the most part, don't have the giant fandoms that newer shows do.
Yep.
True. Ones that are done, obviously, like One Piece and Dragon Ball aside.
By classics, I'm referring to things like FMA or
Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop,
Samurai Champloo, like
like that, like Bleach,
Inuyasha, yeah,
Sailor Moon,
yeah, or in High School Host Club, like the classics.
like
Dragon Ball.
like I'm not like the ongoings that still aren't finished, like Bleach, Naruto, One Piece, though that's their own
Case closed.
Case closed.
Yep.
That's its own genre. That's its own subset of nonsense.
Well, and to be fair, even Pokemon.
Real.
Because most people forget Pokemon's an anime.
And Digimon, while we're at it.
Yep.
Are they still producing Yu-Gi-Oh content, or did they finally give up?
No, they still are. I'm pretty sure.
Oh wow!
I watched what was it? Random shout out to an arc of Yu-Gi-Oh. Arc V or like Arc 5 is the one that they introduced pendulums, I think. I used to play the game. That one was actually weirdly really solid from like a storytelling standpoint, and it like revisited like old worlds and mechanics and stuff, and it was actually really good. And it felt weird to say so because it's the children's card game show.
But Yu-Gi-Oh set the standards for so many things. I mean, Seto Kaiba is, someone says this to me, and I can never unsee it now. Seto Kaiba is who Elon Musk wishes he could be.
So true. So true, Dusty.
Changing the subject. This has been in the chat for a few minutes now. Do you collect anime Blu-rays?
I do not, because realistically, I don't have a Blu-ray player. Like everything's on streaming services now, so.
And that gets into the argument of owning the content versus not, and
because when Funimation shut down, everyone that bought the digital copies lost their rights to or their access to that content that they paid for.
Correct.
Which I have a major problem with.
Yeah, I was also, don't get me wrong, companies doing things that are arguably just bad is still bad. Like, it doesn't matter what your medium is. If you do something that sucks, then you did something that sucks. I'm not here to be like, well, anime gets a pass or this studio gets a pass. No.
It's more along the lines of it's more along the lines of that is a serious discussion of digital versus physical media. My whole thing is itty bitty living space, and I do not have the storage space. And outside of my PlayStation 5, I don't have anything to place said Blu-rays on.
That's the whole reason I bought my PS3, was so I could play Blu-ray.
And what is your favorite dubbed anime?
I feel like that's such a hard question. I watch a lot of things subbed now.
Yep.
But originally, we could only really get things dubbed over the like having physical copies or 30 pieces of a YouTube video in the top left corner that has episodes and 32 parts.
Or mega upload and then having to wait an hour before you could watch more content.
Or you could go on LimeWire and pray.
Yep. Or you could have someone give you a burned CD that had maybe 2 episodes of something on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What year did you really start getting into anime? Because for me, it was like 2012-ish.
Um, I really hit the ground running. I started before freshman year, so 2009.
So roughly around the same time as me, just a couple of years off. Because it was my
Right.
friend when we were juniors that really started getting me into it.
Oh, I have an answer. Oh my god, where am I right now? Gurren Lagann.
Gurren Lagann was fun. However, there was a point at which that show should have ended and didn't, and jumped the shark.
Correct.
Okay.
I specifically, there's a reason why. Because for me, my friends and I watched the entirety of the show unstopping, and we all stayed awake in a sleep-deprived state to finish the show because it was too long for its own good.
That sounds like me and my friends watching, or my ex had the box set. At the time, significant other had the box set of Asmangadao, and our friend's 21st birthday, we turned Asmangadao into a drinking game. You see where this is going.
Yep.
And that alone is why I didn't watch. That show alone is why I didn't watch dubs for a very long time. Because the dub was that bad. I had to sober go back and rewatch like a number of episodes and watch the sub. But thankfully the DVD had options. And Ross from the chat, doing a childhood or growing up test from what I brought up earlier. Besides Double Dare and Hidden Temple, do you think that Animorphs should be revived?
No.
No.
I do not think that they would function nearly as well as when they did when we were kids or when we were younger.
I am just a little too old for having read Animorphs.
I have all the books.
I'm not even familiar with what that is.
That Animorphs was one of my husband's favorites, but that little bit of an age difference, I was a little too old and definitely the wrong target audience and never actually read them. But from everything I have heard since, I am in agreement that's something that is a product of its time, and while really good, couldn't necessarily get published today, although should be read as is.
Yeah. It's, what is it? I think that Animorphs and like Goosebumps were kind of in the same general category. Yep. But then another one that's like, oh, its timepiece was like Warrior Cats, but that's a different like sub-genre.
Never heard of Warrior Cats.
Really? It was big. It was big.
Never heard of it, and I grew up the same time you did.
Goosebumps I'm familiar with, but I didn't read them. Instead, I read R.L. Stein's older series meant for slightly older kids. I read a lot of the Fear Street stuff. But yeah, no, a lot of things. There's so much content from that era that you really can't revive today without massively changing it for today's audience.
That or just massively offending everybody.
That too.
Because everyone's offended nowadays.
And in the chat, I remember Thundercats, the old one, but Warrior Cats I'm not familiar with.
I'll give what little breakdown I do know because I didn't read them. Warrior Cats was a book anthology series based on just like street cats, and they all had like clan names and things, and I think some of them had magic powers. It was very like, this is teen literature, specifically in like the early 2000s. So it very much felt like it was the I'm going to now go pretend that like you go play this outside, like you get your friends to read this book series, and then you all go pretend to play warrior cats outside. I don't. It's like when you pretended you were Naruto in your backyard.
Oh,
From my understanding.
One series we used to play outside, at least I used to with my neighbor back when, was Shaolin Showdown. Even though
I
not
forget what
even
Shaolin Showdown.
And
still,
in the chat, we've got Master Silasef. Grew up reading Dragon Riders of Pern. I tried reading Dragon Riders of Pern. I couldn't. That just never grabbed me. Although I did, there was another series by that author that I absolutely adored when I read it in high school and don't remember it for the life of me. Going back to more spooky stuff, Goosebumps or Are You Afraid of the Dark for Spooky Month favorite episode?
I have an answer to this. I had to find what book it was.
And as a note, Are You Afraid of the Dark was a Nickelodeon show.
Yes, it was. I did know that one as well. Night of the Living Dummy was always a go-to.
never heard of it.
Conceptually. And then The Curse of Camp Cold Lake was another very, very popular, very good Goosebumps book.
Nope, I feel like
I never got into the Goosebumps series.
I feel like where this is, and I'm old. Because I didn't read any of that because that was just
You were old at that point.
yeah. And then Master Silasef says, Are You Afraid of the Dark was one of their favorite series, but after a few seasons it didn't hold them anymore. Yeah. That's not one I watched consistently. I'd catch an episode here or there. But as far as like spooky kind of stuff, probably not the same, but I absolutely loved the X-Files.
No, that's fair.
Yep.
It still falls under the same general genre.
Like that not quite horror monstery.
Yep. We can I'll say this last bit and then we can move on from Goosebumps stuff. There was specifically a few of the Goosebumps books that were choose your own adventure. So it'd basically be like, oh, you got to this part, either choose page 46 or page 62, and then you flip to that, and like that would be like the choice that you made. Those are really fun. And then there's a Goosebumps movie with Jack Black recently. Well, like recently being within the last 10 years, I think.
Jack Black has two settings when it comes to movies. It's either way better than it should be, or what in the heck? Why is this so bad? Like that's just been my experience because like from everything I have been told, the Minecraft movie's actually really good.
I have heard the same, and
and Jack Black, wait, what? And then counter that with the Borderlands movie. I haven't been able to bring myself to watch it because I've heard it's that bad.
Oh, I also haven't watched it because I'm just like, dang. I'm pretty sure it has like a 3 on Rotten Tomatoes or something.
That's one of those. I had such high hopes for that. I had high hopes for that, and the concept of Jack Black as Claptrap is just too perfect.
Mm.
But no.
Oh my god, it is 10 years old. It's from 2015.
Wait, what is?
The Goosebumps movie.
So I've been out of high school for 10 years. Thanks for reminding me.
I've been out of college for 20, so
I don't think this is the competition we really want to take
20
on
years.
yet.
That being said, holy crap, where did the time go? Because we have been rambling. We've actually And Darren, this is a rarity. We've actually stayed mostly on topic.
Yeah, no food except
With-
food wars and dungeon.
Without a set thing. The camera one of the future was my favorite Goosebumps book. And Are You Afraid of the Dark favorite episode is Tale of the Prom Queen, and that's coming from Ross. Because I don't know. This is not content I have consumed. What little I've seen of Are You Afraid of the Dark was okay. Didn't stand out. It was just kind of there.
I didn't have cable growing up, so this is all Greek to me.
By the time I got cable, I was a little too old for Nickelodeon, but saw a bunch of the stuff my little sister watched because she's 10 years younger than me. And therefore, I've seen certain shows, both from Disney Channel and Nickelodeon, but not necessarily by choice.
Okay, I'm going to I'm going to redirect us because there are two shows that I still want to at least kind of sort of talk about.
Go for it.
We get too far.
Well, because
of pocket.
We've got 10 minutes, so go.
Has anyone seen To Be Hero X?
No.
Okay.
So but
I am glad that I am the one who gets to talk a little bit about this. To Be Hero X is, as far as I'm aware, a completely fresh concept. The idea is that people make superheroes. It's a popularity contest. You get powers based on what people perceive you as. And if you are popular enough, then you get stronger and stronger powers based on that. But it is also how the public perceives you. So there is one character who literally can't sit down or bend over because his whole motto is standing strong and standing tall, where he can lift thousands upon thousands upon thousands of pounds, but he literally can't bend at the waist because that's how his power is kind of manifested. And it's a really interesting combination of 2D and 3D animation, that it does not feel like they use 3D animation just for filler. One of the big fights in the first season actively uses electricity that bounces in between the screen, 3D to 2D to 3D to 2D. It's a really cool effect.
Ooh.
Yeah. I would definitely recommend at least just checking it over.
And with that, we've got... Go ahead, Darren.
No, I was just saying, in terms of fight scenes, you just made me remember one of the cleanest fights in anime, period. Are you familiar with Mob Psycho?
Yeah, of course.
So you know what I'm talking about, right? How clean that initial fight was in season 1 that kind of took the internet by storm.
Yep. There are some solid fights in Mob Psycho.
And honestly, season 3 was not needed, but they did so well that it was like an added bonus to an already what felt like a complete series. But in general, that was just probably one of the cleanest anime that I've seen in quite a while.
I also very much agree. I was saying Mob Psycho is very, very good.
And final question from Ross. Saw this coming a mile away. Have you seen Ghost Stories the dub?
I don't know, man. I don't know if I can talk about the rabbit and how that's a burly, large man of color as a rabbit. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that. Yes, I am very much aware.
Yep.
I knew that would be brought up.
Yeah, so did I. But with that, any kind of last minute stuff you want to talk about? Shameless plugs nonsense.
I'd say promote yourself, promote anything y'all are working on. Just have at it.
Okay. The easiest way to kind of go over is surprise, I've been here for like 2 hours. I'm Switch. There's I'm a game master at Gamers Heaven in Phoenixville. And I am a VTuber, but I'm one of the weird VTubers where you have to know my face because I physically run games. And then of course I will obviously plug Anki as well. Just go to the convention. I'm infecting your mind. Go to the convention.
What's your Twitch or
it's the
What's your
same thing.
social?
I am Switchhax on everything. So I don't check my Blue Sky, but I do have it. But for Twitter, for Twitch, for Discord, even it is all Switchhax. I'm not very good at this because I'm very new to this.
and someone is saying very on brand.
Yes. Thank you.
And there you go. So
it's been fun.
Yeah, it's been definitely a good time, definitely an adventure, and at some point we'll have you and some more of the Anki crew back to talk about the event itself and other stuff. But until next time, when Doug joins us again, be happy, be healthy, and if you are in the area where there's a nor'easter due, stay safe. And we'll see you all next time. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Thank you.